Good, everybody. It's another episode of Dinner D Mail. Thank y'all for tuning in. Now, today is about, there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors for real about the Lions getting Cooper Kupp. Now, because, J-Mo has to spend the first 6 games, on the sideline, which is still crazy to me that, the NFL hasn't rescinded that at this time. But, I guess they just want to stick to it. But you see his situation different than the other people that got suspended. So I don't understand why y'all don't at least take it to 3 games or something. But if it was an NFL game, I understand. But that's neither here nor there at this point. Only thing is, if I'm the Rams, why would I do that? It doesn't make any sense because if you still got Matthew Stafford, that's his favorite receiver. Why would you get rid of him? Now, if y'all in like a complete rebuild, like forget we're gonna scratch everything, even trade Aaron Donald, then I can understand letting go of Cooper Kupp because you definitely gonna get some first round picks from him. But if you don't not get into like a full rebuild like that, it makes no sense to get rid of your quarterback's favorite player. And everybody keeps like, I understand this is, what have you done for me, as of late. NFL thing, NFL has always been that way. That's why the older players get replaced by younger players. But at the same time, the Rams just won the Super Bowl. Like the Rams ain't like Stafford got his first ring with them. So I don't understand why this is even a rumor. But I guess everything's up for grab when you're in a rebuild. But if I'm Brad Holmes, like I wouldn't even go for Cooper Kupp just for the simple fact that you would have to give up so much. Then when you give it up, like you losing first round pick. Yeah, I feel like the Lions are no longer in the rebuilding thing now. They're in the win now scenario, but it still doesn't make sense to get rid of your first round picks for a player that may or may not get you there because I don't really know. And then you have he'll make the wide receiver room better, of course. I'm not denying that, but I just feel like the risk and reward is too high because, like I said, you would have to give up at least 2 first round picks and maybe a third to get him just because J-Mo's missing 6 games. Like Cooper Kupp is going to take up cap space and everything else. So for them to have to go get him, you would have to give up a lot. You probably have to give up the same amount, if not more, that it was when you got rid of Stafford. So they will probably expect somewhere in that range. Granted, Stafford is a quarterback, he's a wide receiver, but as I keep saying, Cooper Kupp is Matthew Stafford's favorite wide receiver. You see, that's why he made the Triple Crown and he's making all these awards and won the Super Bowl for y'all because that's Stafford's favorite player. Stafford even has that a lot. That's why he had Calvin Johnson. I feel like when it comes to players like that, they always had a star receiver. That's why I think it was so smart for Oakland to, not wrong. I think it was smart for the New Orleans Saints to trade for Derek Carr. I think it was smart for them to go off and get Derek Carr because that Derek Carr is a star. And if Michael Thomas come back and actually do something, that'd be a good little tangent to keep up, as well as the tandem, in my personal opinion. So I just think it. But as far as I said about the risk and reward, as far as the Lions going for Cooper Kupp, I don't think that's a good idea. I think, you just let J-Mo do them 6 games if the NFL, doesn't look at it and at least rescind a few of them. But if he ends up having to serve that 6 games, then at least use one of the younger receivers just to hold his spot until he comes. But to pick a whole nother receiver, I don't really see that because initially I was thinking DeAndre Hopkins as well, but because DeAndre Hopkins showed you, he even said it himself recently, once I'm not a 1,000-yard receiver, I'll retire. Yeah, he's a 1,000-yard receiver. So who place you gonna take? You just signed Marvin Jones. You're not gonna get rid of St. Brown. So you will have J-Mo. So where would you have it? Then you got the tight end position already solidified. So where would you even have D-Hop? You probably have to keep rotating out. He's the number 1 receiver everywhere he goes because he's a good player. That's why I understand why Arizona got rid of him. What do y'all have over there? Maybe, that Kyler Murray situation, maybe that Kyler Murray sits out for an entire year. So you're going to use that year to rebuild on it. And even if you keep Kyler Murray, because the thing I've been thinking about is, with the Arizona Cardinals, with everything with the Arizona Cardinals, I think the Arizona Cardinals are going to have that first between that first and fifth pick. And I always know they've been talking about Caleb Williams coming out of USC. They say he Patrick Mahomes 2.0. Now, I'm not willing to put anybody on that pedestal, but at the same time, if he's willing to do it, I just want to see how he is. I'm gonna have to start watching some USC games because if he getting caught up like that, then I gotta see what's going on. But like I said, I'm gonna keep going back to it. Like Cooper Kupp, I just don't see him coming to the Lions at this time. But would it be a good idea in the future? If Marvin Jones get injured or DeAndre Hopkins ends up signing somewhere else, then you want to try to get Cooper Kupp or one of your star receivers get injured, then you go for Cooper Kupp. Then I can understand it because maybe the Lions are on a winning season, maybe they're in going to the playoffs, so they need one receiver just to take them over the top, playoffs and maybe even Super Bowl. Then I can understand, taking that risk and getting Cooper Kupp. But if it's not the case and y'all don't even make it to the playoffs, which would hurt, but if y'all don't even make it to the playoffs, then there's no point of even doing it. So, like I keep saying, I understand the risk and reward, but I just at this time I don't really understand him coming to the team at this time. You have a lot of people. Anthony Green from North Carolina. So, I still think that you just give it some time. Get these receivers you have. I even posted on Bleacher Report, and even one of the guys says you need to get more out of St. Brown than it is to trade for another receiver, and that's true. But at the same time, it never the more the better. You know what I'm saying? If he's having a bad game, which I doubt he's going to have, if he has a bad game or he getting double teamed, it's good to have that person you can throw to. Now, yeah, J-Mo's a speedster. I feel like DeAndre Hopkins can outjump him. I was really looking for a receiver in this offseason. You have who would you rather have, DeAndre Hopkins or Cooper Kupp? Now, DeAndre Hopkins is a free agent, so you just got to sign him and pay him a lot amount of money. You would have to do the same thing with Cooper Kupp, but at the same time, he's with a team, so you would have to trade for him, and you would have to give up a lot. DeAndre Hopkins, all you got to do is pay the man. So, what are you going to do? You don't want to revisit the thing where the NFL, the Detroit Lions didn't want to pay Calvin Johnson. So, I say pay if that's the idea, but at the same time, like I keep saying, like if that's a receiver, go for D Hop. But other than that, just leave it alone. Use the wide receiver core that you have. If you want to improve anything, just get some backup just in case people get injured because it's a long NFL season. The football players agree. So sometimes when you in the playoffs, you get injured. Some people can play through, some people can't. So you just have that person as the backup. That way, if somebody gets hurt, they can take over, or what? Like that's really the thing right now. But this is another episode of D&D, man. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Thank God Almighty you like to subscribe. Peace, y'all.